Earlier you wanted to explain how you arrive at the title of the book.
Yes. Also, the book is Walking the Boeing 707.
Yes.
Somewhere in Onjiva, when we arrived in Onjiva, there were some rumors just by other people, not necessarily that someone came to say, now people, we are going to go to Zambia by plane. Nobody had said that.
Yeah.
But there has been some kind of rumors around that we are going to go by plane. And it was obvious. Zambia, being a different country, is far. So no one thought we had to walk.
Yes.
Only when the Angolan soldiers, after the trucks that you were talking about,
Yes.
they said, my dear friends, this is how far we can go. So this is the Zambian border, this is Zambia, and so we have to go back. We had our leader, brave Tatena Malambo.
Yeah.
Tatena Malambo and others. Actually, he stood there and he was looking at us and we were looking at him. Only now that I can actually think he was saying, my goodness, with all this group,
Yeah.
with also these children,
Children
how
as well.
are we going to do this?
Yeah.
But he never said anything. All he said was, let's walk. We are actually going to walk. Now, this walking, we thought we are just going to walk up to a certain point and then the plane will come. So I told to Afeni, my friend, that we went together from the school. I said, you know, maybe we are only going to walk for maybe certain kilometers.
Yes.
And then the plane, or probably we are even going to the airport.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, I think so. So everybody was actually hopefully, we were walking, thinking we were going to the airport.
Yes.
We went to the house of Chief, they call him Chief Daniel. Yeah, somewhere there in Zambia, at the border. And there, all that we found was that we have to, it was a bartering system where you have to exchange. You exchange your clothing with food. And as the exchange, they did not mind whether you are exchanging a suit or socks, as long as you are giving an item, and then they will give you pap, sima. And then if you wanted chicken, then you add also maybe a jacket or a cloth, whatever you have.
Yeah.
So, but from there, we left and then we went again on foot, walking towards the river, and we had to sleep at the bank of the river because we were many, and there were only about 6 canoes that were taking people across on the other side of the river.
Yeah.
So it actually probably accommodated 6, I can't remember, people, and we were a group of about 200 or so.
Wow.
So we had to sleep there because people were still being transported.
Being transported.
Yeah, at night, the people who were rowing the canoe also rested.
Yeah, good time.
So we slept there at the bank of the river, and then on the morning, the whole group was then transported to the other side. So the other side is where Tatena Malambo now told us, my friends, here is about walking. I'm hearing rumors of a plane. There is nothing like plane. It's walking. And we walked. I could actually say maybe for probably 5 days.
5 days.
Yeah, walking. And people got tired.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is all.
Yeah,
it is
the
all in the
details
book.
are very
Yeah.
yes.
So there are issues and all others in the book.
Yeah. Wow. So that's where the title came from.
That's where the title came from, because we thought we were going by plane.
Yeah.
Now we are actually walking The Boeing
Okay.
707.
So you're walking the Boeing 707.
Yeah.
So why did you put the 707? Was it having some significance?
Well, I just wanted a number because most of the Boeings are 70 something.
Okay.
That's 704, 70 what?
Yes.
So mine is 707.
So
that I do not really attach it to any specific one.
yeah. Oh, okay, great. So it was a walk to freedom.
Yes.
And it has been a long walk.
It has been a very long walk. Yes. A very tiring one.
I know in the process, you were not on the front wall where the war was happening, where the guns were being shot. You were maybe on the other side since you were young, maybe you would be in the schools. But were you in contact with those people who were on the other side who were fighting the war? Did you experience any of the torture, the torment they were going through?
You know, what we did not understand at the time is why SWAPO did not allow us also to take up guns.
Okay.
Every time when we questioned wanting to go to the front,
Yes.
they will say, we do not use children to fight. Children to school. Matured people should go and fight. So this fight, you will fight it on the other hand, you fight it with books.
Okay.
So in a way, we were in camps where there were education. We were not in encounters with the people who were fighting at the borders or wherever. No, I have not been trained to fight.
Okay.
Because all that we did was we went to education and we have been there and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah, but there are those who were there. Probably they will be able to answer.
Yeah, but you didn't find experience a direct trauma or impact with those who were in the forefront of the war.
Traumas were experienced on the different site.
Okay.
For example, when we have been constantly been told put off the fire so that the fire does not become signals for the South Africans spies out there. So, or maybe the enemies were locating where we were, and therefore we had to go like in the bush for a day or two. They were not major, but they were there. So really, for children,
Yes.
of school age children, they did not face much.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe because of the location where we were. In Zambia, we were at the outskirts of Lusaka, and in Angola, we were somewhere there, very far from where the soldiers were who were really fighting.
Okay.
So I can't really tell.
So it was still a battle. You were fighting. They're on the other side. They're having guns, and on the other side, they still wanted also to empower you in such a way that when you get back into the country, you can be able to make the country move forward.
Yeah.
Now, there's some kind of stories. Now you moved from Zambia and you were taken to the other countries that you have shared in the book.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We went to Sierra Leone for secondary education.
Okay.
Secondary education, what we had in Zambia was primary. So you would actually have to complete the primary cycle, and then you would be sent to secondary education. And that was in most of the West African countries. Some people went to Nigeria, to Ghana, to Liberia, to Sierra Leone, to Senegal, name it.
Yes.
We have been there, and we thank them for that,
Yes.
for accommodating us.
When did you now find your passion to begin to say, okay, my life, I'll be an educator. I want to begin to train or be a teacher or impart knowledge in the children. When was that? Did you discover that?
That actually is a passion that I had before I left.
Okay.
And it was created by one of the teacher at Nelewa school where I went. there was this particular teacher that we admired.
Yes.
She has been good, and we have seen her speaking English, and she was just a model, everything that one would want to be when you grow up.
Yeah.
So with the talk of Mr. Imbodi now, of people going into exile and getting educated and becoming liberated in the mind and everything that he was talking about, so we said maybe if we go, we would actually be like this. She used to be Olivia. Olivia is her name, and her nickname is Tiki. So we have to be like Mefro Tiki.
Yes.
So when I went into exile, and particularly when I went to Sierra Leone, that is now to secondary education, all my focus was to really get this education so that I can be like Tiki. And then when we came back from Sierra Leone after we call them Form 5.
Form 5, yes.
After Form 5, we came back to the camps.
Yes.
And then we were made teachers to teach, to assist, because there were lots of young kids who were coming from Namibia still. So SWAPO had said, now that we have these people who have completed Form 5, I think although they were not trained teachers per se,
yes,
but at least they were able to just be there with some of these kids. So I was a teacher then, and I thought it was a good thing. During that time, then there was also Mrs. Kalimba. She was dealing with people who were not able to read and write.
Yeah.
And for some reasons, my passion turned from the children to these people, because I was actually feeling a bit sorry that a person who is grown up and cannot read and cannot write, how can I help? I just wanted to assist.
Yes.
So I got involved with the literacy program at the centers in Kwanza Sur.
Yeah.
And also, in addition to that, there was also a program called Extension Unit that was run by Mr. Mthoko. He was in Zambia and we were in Angola. I also got involved with that. My whole passion was actually to assist, particularly people who were not able to read and write. So I thought, I don't know, but I just wanted to help.
Okay.
So my passion diverted to that.
To that.
So when I was in when I came back, then that is where I actually went to look for a job in the Ministry of Education, and I went specifically to adult education.
You are given responsibility, part of the responsibility, to bring in the children whose parents, some of them have passed away in the war, in the fight for freedom, and now you are back into the country. So what was now the procedure, the way forward when you brought in those children into the country?
Yeah, as you said, many of the children that I came with, some of them, the parents died.
Yes.
Some of them, the parents were not just there in the camp at the time of repatriation.
Yeah.
So because they did not have someone specific to come with, then it was decided that we need to create a situation where these children who did not have parents at the time to be brought up in a group. And when we came, we settled at Osigambo, and some went to Okatana and then to Anamlenge. And the whole idea, this was now under the Triple R, and we stayed there for a year, and the expectations was that the family members of these children,
Yes.
for the children who had their parents who came back with repatriation, wherever they were,
Yes.
they came to get their children, or the family members came to get their children.
Yes.
But then there were some who did not have family members.
Yes.
There were specifically some that I had taken them home to my parents because they did not have anywhere to go during the holidays. When the school is on holiday, then I have to take these children along because they did not have anyone. And up to now, about probably 5 did not find
The parents.
the parents or relative or anybody related.
Yeah.
We have actually gone in churches. This, when we say we, this is now the SWAPO pattern.
Yes. Yeah.
So they have been asking, announcing in the churches whether they know these people, the mothers particularly of these children, as they were written at their health passport.
Yeah.
But they did not receive any. And some of them went back to SWAPO. Some of them, they just become my children. I have one that
Now,
I have.
Looking at that and the role you have played and the whole process, we do recommend the SWAPO government and the whole process. But now, fast forward, few years back, people begin to hear about liberation struggle kids. The first group comes and people begin to grumble and they don't know what to do, what to say. And then another group, you were at least from the beginning. You saw the process. Can you elaborate what really happened to bring about the kids we call liberation struggle kids in the street today?
They are my children, actually.
Okay.
The majority of them, as I said, about 200, I came with.
Yeah.
We were in those resettlements. And as I said, the family members came to pick up the majority of the children. And 5 children remained because they had nowhere to go. And those ones were taken then to SWAPO office and other things I've explained in the book.
Yes.
Now, my heart bleeds when I talk of these children.
Yes.
Because when most of these relatives came to pick up those kids, they actually took them to their cattle post. And they have been there. And until a time that they decided maybe to get into strikes and then they were taken in to come here. The majority of them cannot actually, the education is lower. Lower because some have not gone to school, and those who went to school went at a very basic, because they have now been the cattle elder boys, while the relatives or whoever had taken them in had actually, they have taken their children to school, but they kept these ones at the cattle post. And these are children whose fathers died in action. The fathers died while fighting. If the fathers were here, they would have been ministers probably. They would have been some kind of people in government to be able to take care of them. Now that the people, I really want to say this to the Namibian people, that the liberation struggle kids, they are not just kids from another planet. They are our own. They are children who were born in exile, born by people who were fighting. And we normally sing this song. I really want people to understand when they sing our national anthem. Their blood waters our freedom. It is the fathers of these children's blood that water the freedom of this country. And when people now say they become violent, they become, just imagine a child who does not have anybody. the child who was taken in by another person who at the end of the day made that person a cattle post somebody, just to be there to look after cattle.
Yes.
And now that they are just saying, Swapo, can you please look at us that we are here? Because if our fathers or our mothers were here, probably we would be like any other person.
Yes.
We came, and then we were able to educate our own children. I came with my child, a 1-year-old by then, and now is someone at least able to go to school because the mother and the father are here. For them, they do not have. And here we are. It really pains me. I went to them at one time.
Yes.
Because people have been complaining that these children have become unruly and they were beating or breaking properties or whatever. So I requested that I want to see them.
Yes.
I went to talk to them. We were there, we were discussing, and they were telling me what they went through after the resettlement, where they were resettled. So they were telling me stories. They really have stories to tell. So Namibian people, before we look at the liberation struggle as unruly children, let's look at them as children who need help. And it is only us, because we sing that song, their blood waters freedom. It is the blood of their fathers that waters our freedom.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am. I think one of the reasons, especially we call them, sometimes we call them born free, or other people who may not have known the story that you have just shared, most of the discrimination sometimes comes from ignorance. So some people, 90% of discrimination comes from ignorance. So some people really don't know. Even when we pass by, you're in the taxi, you see them begging for coins or selling something in the street, or standing by the road asking to go and clean a house. Many people don't have a complete picture about what really happened. Because in a nutshell, nobody would just want to raise and stand in the road. Something happened. Now, is there anything or some rehabilitation program that can be done to be able to incorporate these people into the society fully?
I know of none. I do not know.
So there's not been effort?
I'm not aware of anything. But people will only know, Anthony, when people are being informed.
Yes.
If nobody says anything about these children, then how will the society know of what happened to these children, how they came about?
Yes.
People will only know when someone else had said it. But if we are quiet about it, and all that people know is that they are liberation kids, and then they are saying they are no longer kids, they are mature, they are men, they are women. Yes, because they are almost 40 now. And at age 40, a person still has a level of education of grade 5 or grade 6. A person cannot find a proper job like all others. I'm not actually saying they should just be given, but government should honestly look at these children with an open eye. Because these are the children of the people that we ever sing their bloods waters our freedom. And I am also saying the government has done what it has done. It has taken the majority of them, they now are employed. They have been going to this youth training, something is good, but it's not enough.
Thank you so much. As we are closing, I've been your product in lifelong learning, community development, as well as adult education. Now there's a transition of names. And we are here today. What would you say in terms of adult education or community development? How does it contribute? Now, you are a lecturer in that department, and you have seen a lot of improvement when you're dealing with community development. And there is this misconception of people still don't understand what community development is all about or adult education is all about. What is the important factor? Because even when you talk about unemployment, there are certain skills that can only youth, even the people who have dropped out, learn through community development. So what would you say about a few words on that?
Very few on this one.
Yeah.
Namibians' perceptions of adult education, it is a negative one.
Okay.
And it is a very unfortunate situation.
Wow.
We have the psychology of this person that we call an adult. So for you to talk to this adult,
Yes.
be it in a meeting, be it in a training,
Yeah.
be it in when you have you want them to relocate from one place to another, in anything you need to understand how to go about talking to this person.
Yes.
What is it that needs to be done? We have the psychology at the department. That is what we teach.
Yeah.
We teach the philosophies guiding why do we need to provide this education. Adults need education.
Yes.
They need education to know about their rights as citizens.
Yes.
They need education to understand as workers.
Yeah.
They need education to understand as community members. These are issues of social issues that deals with health, that deal with agriculture, that deals with name it. Anything that the government or an NGO or anything wants to transmit to the community.
Yes.
They are ways that you talk to these people.
So there you have it. That is, in a nutshell, the broader perspective of adult education course. I've been a product of it. Most of my skills and most, whether be it writing, speaking, I have learned from there. How to interact as I'm doing with Dr. Lydia Shakatange. It is really, you need to go there and experience it. And as we are coming to the close, ma'am, you are the Iron Lady. You have done an amazing work, and you're still doing amazing work, transforming our lives. I've gone through your hands, and many other have gone through your hand, and continue doing what you're doing. And we ask you, viewers, go out there and look for the details. The books are out there. I think you can find one. Archives. National Archives, you can find it. Where else can we find it?
It's actually for the National Archives.
It's National Archives.
Yes.
So you go to the National Archives and you get to read this book and find detailed information.
That's $70.
$70. So you can get that book. It's very cheap. I know most of the books are beyond that. You pay double, but you can get that a book. So thank you so much. This is the power of purpose. We know that all things works together for good. And you have gone through dark moments. You have gone through hard. Anything you go through in life. We go through so much, and sometimes you want to give up. Sometimes people attempt to commit suicide and they think there is no way. But all you have gone through, if you can hang on there, have some hope. We hope this story has been able to inspire you. And all things will line up to design you and make you the best that you could be. Until then, thank you so much.